All right. So the last thing you guys are going to do is the compass. And there's really not much instruction on this. It's compass, a compass rose rather. So a compass rose, if we do a Google search, which is one thing you can always do when someone says, "Hey, I need this." So the compass is the parts made of metal where the needle swings around towards magnetic north. But in order to know what it's doing and to know your 90-degree and 45-degree angles, there is a rose underneath. That's what it's called. And it's called that, I think, because they often draw them really pretty and they kind of, I don't know why it's called a rose, but that's what it's called. And you can see by these designs um, that Illustrator would be a great program to draw it in because you have constrained angles and constrained proportions. You can duplicate things very easily. Um, there we go. You can see that they can get very, very complex, and you can imagine in ye olde days of ship sailing around that people had, your compass, even a regular one, might have lots and lots of details on it. So the file you download does have a few there just to give you an idea of the types of ones there are. You can see the hatch marks coming around the side. This one has a little bit of a border. This one's got a lot of detail in the middle. This one's got like a swirl in the middle going across everything and lots of numbers. All right, so how you design this is up to you. But there we go. A set of hash marks right here just so you can kind of get started. They are on this template layer. And there's something to line up against because snapping will allow you to do that. Also, these are on this layer, so if you're like, go away, get rid of them, you can do that. And then this layer is where you would want to work. One thing to note, a couple things to keep in mind. So, if I use the pen tool and I hold down shift so I get a straight line. Just kidding, that's not the pen tool. There we go. So I use the pen tool and I get a straight line because I'm holding down shift. And then holding down shift also gets me a 45-degree line, which means that this one will line up with this one later, right? And then I come back out here, close it off. Bob's your uncle. There we go. Make it one solid color, easier to deal with. So I need the other side of this, right? In order to get this look. So I can, copy, paste. That obviously doesn't quite cut it. So remember, you can right click, transform, reflect, and you're reflecting across the vertical axis. Now this whole thing isn't quite centered properly. I should probably, there it is. Work on that, and I also overlapped them too much. So there you go. And I can also change, actually I don't want any outline on these. That's going to screw it up. I think having the outline on it will kind of mess it up a little bit. There we go. Something like that. And then I want this side to be not that color. So whether you go for natural colors like copper or go for crazy colors like blues and greens, you can make it look however you want. There's no rule that says compasses must look like they belong in ye olde days. But let's say I get that needle point, right? And it's everything I ever dreamed of. I'm going to group it together so that I can treat it as one thing. And then I'm going to copy it and I'm going to shift paste it so it's in place. Now, how to get it here easily? Well, I could do this and I can rotate it while holding shift and kind of put it in place. Excuse me. And that works for simple things like something that you might only have 4 of. But what if you had a lot of something or you were trying to get, uneven angles, that kind of thing? So I'm going to go away. I'm going to make another copy of this and shift paste. And I'm going to use this tool over here. It's called the rotate tool, and you'll see that it creates this little center point. I'm going to drag that down to there, down to the bottom. And now I can take this and it rotates along there. And I can also hold down shift to get 45-degree angles. So depending on what you're making, oh, whoops. There it is. Um, there you have it. So use copy paste, use these rotation tools, use grouping, use layers if you need to, stay organized. You shouldn't have to draw a whole bunch of things multiple times. You should have to draw it once, copy, paste, 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 and rotate. Right? That's the whole point of having this program. And also save more often than I do, please. It'll give you that legacy format issue because I think it started as an older file. All right, so if you have any questions, email me, please. I only need one compass from you, so just make it look good.